Good morning, good morning. I'm Yalek, and I'm back bringing you yet another Boom Beach video. I have a selection of fun replays for you, and the last one is going to be a level 65, which makes me happy. That's my second max level player on this account, I believe, and probably my first real takedown of a 65, because the first one was not a giveaway base, not like a beached HQ, but pretty close. This was a legit base, and down it goes. Now, this guy, before we get to that, I had tried 4 times on this base, and you know, it looks really tempting up here in this pocket of the rocket launcher, so I had tried getting back there with heavy Zuka, but with the boom cannons around, my heavies were just getting decimated. Plus, his mines were making it really hard to get there without having the Zukas damaged. I don't have the GBE just to go take them all out, so I was trying to remove selective ones, but I kept getting behind the HQ and finding that my Zukas were no more. I also tried getting back there with AZ. That didn't end up working out either. Seems like it could have been a pretty good idea. A shock down here, a shock over there, but again, with the mines and getting everybody there in good order. So finally, I did end up getting this guy. I had to go to the right to do it. This was my second try right. The first time, I think the machine gun ended up here, ended up taking out some of the girls. So this time I tried a slightly different approach. Previously I had been barding this out beforehand. In this case, I let it sit. I'm going to remove this one manually here in a second, flare forward to it so that the heavies will walk out, and a shock over to that side because of the shock launcher, which we don't want to mess with. And as soon as the mortar here went down, resmoke and flare away, right up into that corner. Now, as soon as we get out of mortar range, as soon as we get past that residence, we're out of mortar range. I think I throw one more smoke, or do I just flare directly to the MG? Flare directly to the MG, because I'm no longer in range of the shock, and I wanted the heavies to be out front for sure. Now I can turn my attention over here to this rocket launcher and start barding it. It's always very nice when people put their economy buildings touching their defensive buildings like that, so I can take out more than one at a time. I appreciate that very much. Free GBE, thank you. I mean, especially if I was going to be throwing the BART anyway, which I was in that case. So that's just, you know, that's pure bonus. So here we're in pretty good shape, so we'll speed this up. There's not a lot. There's pretty much nothing behind the HQ. The only thing that really bugs me is that mortar, and I've got enough GBE back here that I'm able to BART that down. And yeah, we've got critters. We've got a bunch of girls back there. They're doing their job. These one-hitters are really not too much of a concern. And that's out of range of my girls. So, down he goes. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, well, that was a little slow. I've already had technical difficulties today. I already tried making this video once, and halfway through the internet just decided to cut out. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful, thanks. Don't know why. Very, very odd that it happens here. But yeah, today it did. So yeah, spoiled that one. So here we are again. This one, little different kind of base. I don't see a lot of these at this level. Higher up, yeah, I do see a lot of corner bases on my main account. Hate them. But at this level, not that many. That was a mistake. Instead of, I'm going to flare that later. I should have marked the mortar instead. I'm going to BART that one out. And I believe that's all we do. I think with this one, we just let it be. This is not going to be in range. This is not going to be in range. So really with this one, a lot of times I'll just go ahead and take one of those out on my way, stop, and remove it so that it won't be an issue later. I don't believe I do that in this case, because I did have this little bit of free space right up here near the HQ. So just walk past it and try not to get shot too much in the back. So midway flare, pause a bit, let the girls catch up, Flare up ahead, hoping that the heavies will tank most of those mines for me and not let my girls be too damaged, and they did a pretty good job at that. Those last two smokes probably should have gotten down simultaneously, because you'll watch here and see that a few of the girls just pop out, and then they immediately get torched by that rocket launcher, which we ignored. Shock launcher dissipates, and then from here there's just a bunch of one-hitters up there, and that's not going to range me, so the objective is to get into that little pocket I showed you before and hope to outrace these defenses over here. Be just out of range. Threw the medkit just in case I wasn't, but as it turned out, it was completely unnecessary, so it's just a boom cannon, and actually not even the sniper, so just the boom cannon against the troops that I have left remaining. And boom, 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 down this one goes. Where, again, the marvel of these attacks, he had ice. The marvel of these attacks is how much of a base I am able to skip past. I don't think people anticipate these kinds of attacks at this level, which is great for me. This one, I'm going to skip ahead to the end. Everything else is fairly similar. Once again, nice little pocket up here. Just want to get rid of that flamethrower to make, I mean, really, you look at the back of this base, there is not a lot to be attacking me, and most of the things that are going to be attacking me are going to be focused on the heavies. Drop, fairly standard. My flare spot is not ideal. It should have been to the left of the HQ, and I think I throw it into about there. So some of my girls wrapped around the HQ in a suicidal fashion. That was fun. But the nice thing about this account, flare forwards, the heavies step way out front, the Zookas stay way in back, and look at that beautiful line of Zookas back there with all that separation, just pounding away at this HQ. Just the health's evaporating. Once again, the critters go the wrong way. Whatever. I did try doing a couple attacks this morning using universal remote as my distraction. Kind of a mixed bag. And finally, 65, Padre Phil. Sorry, Padre. By the way, how crazy is it that I'm level 44 and I'm almost at 500 BP? So, the Padre here has given me one of these spread out bases again, and that's some way, you know, that's the sort of base where I can really operate. Getting rid of one rocket launcher, and again, just trying to avoid being shot in the back by the other. This one is not too big a concern. 3 boats of heavy there for extra damage, because this is a 65, and these defenses chew through my troops really quickly. Really quickly. We're trying to get up into here because we're going to get the shock launcher, mortar, and flame out of the way. Those are really the things that concern us up there. And once we get those out of the way, then just more or less trying to avoid the range of the shock launcher, the rocket launcher, stuff like that. So the midway flare, and then flaring behind the mortar. I believe we just step out and flare directly to the shock launcher here. Waited a bit too long on that. But shock launcher goes down before getting a shot off. Threw a shock over here to slow those things down. Lots and lots of critters, and that you can do that with the one hitters left remaining. That shock launcher, we're getting enough GVE to take that out of the picture, and that pretty well seals it here. The flamethrower can't reach because Zookas, as you know, outrange flamethrowers. You see that all the time when you log into the game. And there's not a lot of girls left here, so I'm really just hoping that the critters can buy me the time I need. What do we have? Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 it looks like. But boom cannons do shoot slowly, once every 4 seconds. That rocket is not going to be a factor as far as the girls are concerned. That sniper does need to go down. So now we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The critters are doing the best they can, and from here nothing can shoot us. The critters can be targeted, but not the girls. Still, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And a good bit of health left on this HQ, and not a lot of Zukas to take it out. So I was a little nervous about time, but it ends up working out, so we can speed that up. And ended up being 4 girls, because one of them is just wandering around up here doing other things, and eventually gets herself shot by the 3rd rocket launcher. But that is my first legit 65. The last 65 I had wasn't like a giveaway freebie base. He hadn't beached his HQ or anything, but he had all his defenses arranged in like 2 lines. A block here, and then a block here. Let's assume those were the same size. I'm terrible at drawing. And all of his range stuff was up here. His rockets and everything. So it was almost like sort of a wink-wink base. He wasn't giving it away, but if you knew better, it was pretty easy just to walk up the side and avoid the range of all of his rockets and shocks. So I did that and beat him. This guy, on the other hand, he's not giving anything away. That's just way too spread out a base design. So yeah, any day I can beat 60 or above, and especially a 65 is a good day for me, because as you know, I like making things go boom. That's my thing. Anyway, if you like the video, drop me a thumbs up. You can always comment, say hi, ask questions. Ooh, what are we doing down here? Ooh. Questions if you have any, blah blah blah. Request content if you want it. Hopefully the Sky Shield does me a little bit of good. We'll see if I can stop the team head attacks with it or not. Anyway, I am out. Have a great day.